Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So yesterday I did a video on why you would choose individual pedals over a multi-effects unit. That's been quite a popular video, so tonight I thought I'd just show you in detail, just run through my actual pedal board, how I've got it set up and the various sounds and how I use it. Before I do though, please, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I'm getting really close to those first 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Anyway, here we go, right? So I'm going to go from right to left. Okay, so first in the chain, by the way, I'm just using my Squire Affinity Telecaster. Check out the reviews on the channel. I'm going into a Fender Frontman 25R combo amp, which is just a really, cheap transistor Fender amp with a nice clean channel. Anyway, right, first in line, guitar input here, right? The TC Electronic Polytune 3 mini tuner, right? It's brilliant, okay? So it's got the Polytune, which means I can just strum and it'll just tell you instantly if you've got any strings that are out of tune, which is just so handy. They're on, so that's in tune. This has like a true bypass or a buffered mode. I've got it in buffer because there's a lot of pedals coming after it, so that like will sort of boost the signal a little bit. And there's also an always on mode, which I think it's the pedal display is always on. I've got it switched off, so it only comes on when you click it. Also, there's a switch here where you can flick through the various tuning modes. So there's a few sort of defaulted tuning modes, like D flat or whatever. So it's a really excellent tuner, right? Just to have on your board. Polytune, it's great. Job done. Tuner, awesome, right? So next pedal is the Electro Harmonix LPB1. So that's Linear Power Booster 1. So what this is for, I mean, this kind of arrived last on the pedal board. Originally, I was using it to sort of give a volume boost to this, the Electro Harmonix Soul Food, which is my main drive pedal. So I did have that placed after it to give like a clean volume boost, but with not much gain on. I didn't really like that. I didn't really do anything. It was just a volume boost, nothing else. So I put it before the Soul Food, which gives the Soul Food a nice gain boost instead. We'll get to that later. But anyway, the LPB1 is just a great utility pedal to have, a boost pedal with one knob. You can go clean. You can hit it just as a clean boost if you just wanted to do that, for example. And you can even crank, get a bit of overdrive going on. But that's not what I use it for. But it is very flexible in this position, and pedal position is important as well, right? You've got to pay attention to that, right? Boost, overdrive, distortion, effects at the end. This is just going into a clean Fender amp. So that's the LPB1. Now, sort of the main pedal on my board really is this thing, right? The Electro Harmonix Soul Food. And this is a clone of the Klon Centaur, which is like a highly regarded, sought after, expensive. I think they're going for around four grand or something these days. This is much cheaper, obviously, but yeah, it gives you this sort of effect. So that's kind of you've a very sort of transparent drive. And backing off the guitar volume cleans up brilliantly well. So this is my kind of main drive of choice, really. I was messing a little about with using this as my main drive. It's too much. It does clean up nice, but I think this has just got much more clarity. It's much more natural sounding and amp-like. Dynamic, brilliant. I use it at max gain because it's not a very gainy pedal. This is where the LPB1 comes into it. So if I want to increase the gain on the Soul Food, just means the notes aren't dying out anymore, you see. So what you will notice is, as soon as you start stacking overdrives and distortions, you do, bring a bit of hiss into the play. That's just the nature of the beast. So yeah, the Soul Food in conjunction with the LPD one, it just gives a bit of extra grunt if I need it. If I'm like playing rhythm and I just want to stick out a little bit for a solo. Just pushing towards that feedback. I'm always trying to introduce mids, right? This is a very mid-forward pedal. This just increases the gain and just gives you easier access to those, that harmonic feedback, right? So that's that. I've got this set, treble in the middle, which has no effect really. I can boost the treble if I want and knock it back. I've got the volume set so that, it's basically matching my clean volume, and I've got I've got the drive maxed, and I can back off the drive with my guitar volume. So really, I don't really run this clean like this. I never use it clean. I always use it with the Soul Food always engaged. If I want clean, there's my clean. I just like to control things with the guitar volume. Yeah, so there's the main drive. Now the next one is the Boss DS1W. So this is the Waza version of the DS1, and this has got the custom mode. So the reason I've got this here is, I was using this as my main drive. Even with the custom mode, right, I still didn't think there was enough mids. These pedals were actually reversed, so I was having this as my main drive, and this used to come after it as a solo boost. But I much prefer the sound of this now as a solo boost. So you've got the custom mode, I've got no distortion on it, I've got the tone about a quarter, and I've got the volume just over a half, and it gives you this effect, right? So this is the Soul Food on its own. And this is this. So your 80s solo effect, to full effect there. I love that sound. So much gain, cascading gain, that really comes into its own, I think. This, it is an expensive pedal, it's £120, but what a sound. You could argue that you don't even need the Soul Food, but without it, look how much bass that's got. The Soul Food sculpts the tone of this to give you the sort of the best of both worlds. Cuts the bass out of that, increases the mids even further, and just gives it that extra bark. So those, are my drive pedals, right? I've got a main drive, which is always on. Other people might want to just switch that on and off for a clean and a overdriven sound. I've got this, which just gives me a little bit of a volume lift and a bit of a gain lift if I want more. Not much, but sometimes you don't need much. You just want to push it into that feedback, if you've just got the Soul Food on its own and the notes are just dying out on you. This is the more oomph pedal. Anyway, that's that. Moving on then to the last pedal in the chain. I've kept things really simple, and I recommend that you do as well. This is sort of billed as a delay pedal, but it's so much more than that, right? So I can use this as a kind of a delay pedal if I wanted to. So So if I'm soloing, I mean, brilliant, right? But also, right, with this, it's got various delay types. I mean, I get a lot of use out of this as well, the shimmer. I mean, you know, name that tune in one. No end of fun with that shimmer, right? But also what I can do is, if I just put it in sort of modulation mode and just turn off the delay, got a chorus there, and loads of other things as well. What we've got here, we've got an octave as well. Get the boost on that. And you know, listen to how well that tracks as well. Even with chords, it's one of the best tracking octavers I've heard. Yeah, so it's got all that, and then you know, you can just go all the way back just to using it as a bog standard delay. So yeah, basically I use that for all of my effects. I control the reverb from the amp. I just keep it simple. I just like to have flexibility with the drive sounds. You know, I absolutely love this soul food. It's just so immediate. You know, you've got the knobs there, so you can adjust them on the fly. I think it's great. Like I say, a boost for there. If I want a big boost, and if I want to go mental, anyway, hope you liked the video. I thought I'd just give you a run through of my pretty simple, but you know, pretty flexible, and you know, hope you agree, good sound and pedal board. Catch you in the next one. Bye.